Hello guys, this is a review of the movie Here Comes the Devil. The movie's in Spanish and it kind of spooked me out. Here's what the movie is about. The movie is about two parents and their son and their daughter. They're playing in the desert and they're going back and they stop at a gas station and the kids are like, hey, we want to go play. We want to go play at the desert like at least 30 minutes and whatnot. So I'm going to be paraphrasing a lot. I've been doing that a lot in my reviews lately. So they let them go. They're like, okay, you guys go, but be back by this time. I mean it. And they go ahead and play. The parents stay there and they have sex. And this movie is like filled with sex scenes all over the place, like from beginning to end. So if you're not like of, this movie is not for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. So they never come back. They're like, what? Like, we told them this time, like, what's... They worry. They're like, what do we do? They tell the authorities they're looking for them. They can't find them. Then the cops tell them, you know what, guys? There's not a lot you can do now. We need you guys, but we need you guys to be alert and awake. So you have to go and get some rest, go get some sleep, and then we'll let you know if anything should happen, and we could use your help in the daytime. So they go... And they had like a fight. Obviously, they're like, it was your fault. You never want to do family things with us. And the guy's like, yo, shut up. You can't blame me. Like, how are you going to blame me? You were the one who gave him permission, etc. They're playing that game, which is very relatable. And then the next day, they're going out. They take a shower. They get ready to go look for them. And they see the cops coming with the kids. They're like, hey, are you guys okay? Okay. Perfect. So they tried to resume their life like nothing happened. Like that's just a terrible accident it's never going to happen. We're always going to keep an eye on them. Until they realize something. The mom realizes, she gets a phone call, first of all, from the school and says, I know that they've been through some things, but they cannot be like missing school so often. Like they're not coming to school and I know that it's difficult, but like they have to attend. And the mom's like, wait a minute. So I've been taking them to school every single day and they're not there. So she follows them and notices that they go into the desert inside this mountain cave looking thing. And they spend their whole day there. And then they come back and they're like, oh, how was school? School was good. It's like, what? And that same place where they got lost. Like they go there every single day. They take the bus and they go there. And freaky things start happening around. And she tries to explain to the husband, hey, I get goosebumps. Terrible things are happening. Something's not right with them. They take him to like a psychologist and the psychologist notices a pattern with their drawings that they're drawing the same thing. They draw this van that the dad saw while he was looking for them in the desert at night. And then they find out that this guy is like a weirdo. Like, the town talks about him. They're like, oh, like nobody talks to him, but like he just like minds his own business, kind of like a freak. And they know that he's a freak because he has this tendency to like take women's underwear and like a lot of details that I cannot get into or else I'm never gonna end this, like the plot. But they search for him because the kids present signs that they've been raped. And so they think, they're like, who is going to do this? But that guy that was there in the truck. They find where he works. They look for him. They stalk him. And they make him confess that he did something. But what he did was that he took the little girl's underwear. But that's about it. And he didn't do anything else. But they don't know that. Then they kill him. And they try to hide it. The cops go over to talk to them. They're like, you were looking for this guy and now he's dead. But they're like, oh, we don't have anything to do with that. He's like, well, I mean, I'm not totally mad. I'm paraphrasing again. I'm not like mad because, he did things, but like he wasn't like, I don't know, like give me a reason for me like to not care. But they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't have anything to do with it. And then, I forgot to mention that. Well, I'll talk about it in the end, the opening scene. Hopefully I don't forget. Then they hire a nanny to take care of the kids. And she doesn't finish babysitting because crazy things happen, and she just storms off. When they come back, she's not there, and they try to contact her, but she won't say anything. And the mom goes over to her house and asks, hey, I know that creepy things are happening, I believe you, tell me what happened. And she was like, well, the girl was levitating, the guy was doing this, like they just freaked me out, and they freaked with each other, they had sex with each other. She's like, what? She's like, yeah. And then the movie ends with the mom taking the dad to the cave to show him what she saw. She saw that the kids were dead. Their bodies lied inside the cave, like down this thing where they probably fell to their deaths. But these carcasses came back, like these shells, as they call them, came back and pretended to be their kids. So it wasn't their kids. All along, it was these things. So then the mom was like, look. And the guy just takes a gun and shoots her. And then the next scene, you see him like driving the car kind of bad. So that kind of gives like, oh, the devil can't drive. So it's not them anymore, but they're coming back to society to like just like act like nothing happened. The opening, so okay, that's it for the plot. The opening scene, I just wanted to say that it really opens up like the whole feel of the movie, which is like these girls having sex with each other and the killer murdering them. Then later you find out that it was kind of like the devil. And I'm sorry about the noise, it will stop, I promise. Well, I can't promise that, but yeah, the film, I read a lot of criticism. I like to read reviews, and not too many before I do my own, but there's a pattern there as well. People are not happy with the quality of the film. Like they said, like the budget, like the effects and everything, they just sucked. And then there are some people that are like, hey, this movie was terrifying, this movie was very scary. And some are like, how could this ever be scary to anyone? Well, in my opinion, I was spooked, and I had, I don't know, spent like months without watching a horror movie. So maybe that had something to do with it, and the fact that I always watch them by myself at first, alone, and as late as possible. So that might have had something to do with it, along with the fact that I'm a native Spanish speaker. That was my first language, and this is in Spanish, and it always resonates with me in a very different, more intense way than like English movies tend to. I don't know what it was, because the movie, it does have like you could tell that like the effects were just not great, but you don't have to pay a lot of attention to that, you know what I'm saying? Another like thing that people were saying, and I'm saying people because it wasn't like something bad for me, is that it had sex from start to finish, like all over the place. And like they felt like it was a way for like the audience to be like interested in the otherwise boring film. But for me, since I was following the story from the beginning, it of course it catches your attention. You're like, okay. But at the same time, the movie itself was good. It had a nice story. It was freaky. You didn't know what was gonna happen. Of course, I felt like it got a little bit stale when the mom figured out that the bodies were there, and then we saw the face of the devil, because now we know what it is. And when we didn't know, I kept saying like, oh dear Jesus, oh, don't let it pop out, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, I was like, literally, I wasn't like, you know, but I was kind of like, what is it? What is in the cave? That could happen to anyone. What is in the cave? And I think that was the freakiest thing. I've seen millions of people levitate in movies, obviously. I've seen a lot of that. But the way that they set it up, and the way that they made it feel like realistic and stuff, and really relatable towards me being Mexican, I enjoyed it. I don't think it was fantastic, amazing, like I've never seen anything like this in my life, but it was good. It was a solid horror film. Anyone who enjoys horror movies and subgenres within the horror genre, watch it, because it's all right. Like, it's magnificently creepy. It's cool. But if you're not into horror movies and you really have little to no respect for them, then you probably shouldn't watch it, because it's not, you should probably start off with more of the commercial work. But yeah, I guess that's it for this one. My rating would be 7.5 out of 10 in its category. It was good. It was enjoyable. Thank you for watching.